Hello everyone, it's Chris. We're back. We're going to be installing a set of reverse lights on the 2023 Can-Am Defender Pro XT. I've got a set of KC Cyclone V2s. These are a round white LED light that will replace the factory reflectors on the rear of the Defender XT Pro. So this reflector will be replaced with a white LED light for reverse lights. So just a few things we'll be needing for the install. Obviously you have some primary wire, bullet connectors, ring terminals, heat shrink tubing, flex loom, pair of wire strippers, crimpers, cutters, basic socket set. So we'll go ahead and get installing on this Can-Am. All right, to begin we're going to start with removing the reflectors here. In the back here you have an 8mm lock nut right there. We're going to start with pulling that off. Repeat on the other side. There you go, both reflectors are up. So this is the KC Highlight Cyclone V2 that you're replacing that reflector with. Those wires will slide in this side there and it fits perfectly inside that hole once you attach it up. So it's a nice fit. So once we remove the reflector, we'll have to drill out this center hole because the bolts that held the reflectors in are a little bit smaller than the bolts that we're going to use in the new KC Highlight. They don't provide a bolt, so I'm using a 1/4 stainless steel with a button head on it. It's 5/8 inch long. I'm going to drill the hole out 1/4 inch. Both sides. Slide that light in. And then I'm using a 1/4 stainless steel lock nut on the rear. And then they provide a small rubber cap they put in the center to cover up that bolt hole. Now we'll wash, rinse, repeat on this side. Put your little pain in the butt. Rubber plug back in there. And that's going to be your finished install, what it's going to look like. Now we'll move on to wiring. Now to make things easier, we're going to lift the bed up. Gives a little bit more access to the back of the lights and the wiring. As you can see, this is where our wires are coming out for the lights on both sides. Now we'll connect these together and then run them up to the cab, to the switch panel. So the KC highlights come with a wiring harness for these lights in particular, but they'll definitely not be long enough to reach to the switch panel on the XT Pro.
What? What the fuck?
So you either need to run your own primary wire straight back to the lights, or you use their harnesses and you just have to add some primary wire to where your wires are going to reach. So I'm going to use them because it has a pretty durable insulation, and when you're out trail riding and all that, it's going to be a benefit instead of just having a primary wire in a flex loom. So I'll run these wires up as far as they go, and I'll terminate there up to the switch panel. It's one side. You want to make sure you get these bullet connectors pressed all the way in. You don't want them coming off on you, wiggling out when you're trail riding. So I'm going to take this side and run it over to the passenger side, simply to keep everything together with the factory wiring loom. This is just temporary. Once I finish the install, I'll come back and dress all this up and secure everything with some zip ties. But I will put one on here right now just to make sure I don't pull it away from the light. I'm going to run the driver's side over to the passenger side for a couple more temporary zip ties in. Now this does go right past above the exhaust here, so I will add some heat shielding to this in the end. Now we're just going to keep following the factory harness. Adding zip ties as we go. So now we're going to run a ground from these lights, and you can pretty much find the ground anywhere on chassis. So I'm going to just go to this bolt here, take a test light, go to a positive power, and that shows you that that is a good ground. So I'll remove that bolt, and that's what I'll terminate to. So I'm going to gather up my wiring harness here. I'm going to zip tie it off to another factory harness. You want to keep everything nice and neat. Now those are my 2 power wires that will run up to the switch panel. And cut your tails off. No one likes tails hanging out everywhere.
A few minutes later.
So now we'll want to remove the center tunnel cover. Up front you got 3 clips to pull out. And if you don't have a clip removing tool, just find another way. So once you remove this tunnel cover, it exposes the accessory wires that Can-Am has so graciously put down here for you. However, it would have been a lot nicer if they just ran these all the way out to the back to the engine compartment. So now you do the same thing on the back side. These are going to be a little harder to get to. Sorry, this last one was a little hard to do with the camera in the way, so I just put the camera for that one. I also need to remove your battery cover, so you have 2 Zeus fasteners, one in the center here, and then you have one right there. You have to pull those out, and then this battery cover will come right out, and you can finish removing that center tunnel. Now this gives you unobstructed access all the way back here to run your power wire out to those 2 wires that we left unterminated in the back. So here we'll just take some primary, run it back there, Should be able to see that from the back. And so we're going to send this right through out to the engine compartment. So once you pull that power wire through, leave yourself excess so you can pull it up tight and zip tie it to your factory harness after you put your flex loom on it. You don't want to short yourself. You'll be swearing and calling yourself a bunch of names. You're going to come up here. Again, just leave yourself some excess. So you'll be terminating to one of these accessory wires here, which come up behind your switch panel here. So you don't have to go fishing all the way up here. I'll most likely use the tan with the red tracer wire just because red shows power. So I'm going to go ahead and terminate this real quick. I'll be putting a male bullet on here. I do use all heat shrinkable connectors. Gives you a nice watertight seal and a better connection. As far as strength. So like I said, I'm going to go with the tan with a red tracer on it. From here I'm going to run some flex loom back on that wire. This is an 1/8 inch flex loom. I'll have a link in the description where you can buy these things. So once I've gone and run the flex loom and the wire through the tunnel, I'm going to put the cover back on. Put the battery cover back in. 2 quick fittings. And we're all done back here. So once you're done with that back part, you're good. Put the center tunnel cover back on. And that's it for that. So now we're going to make the termination back here where our lights are at. I'm going to do this with a bullet connector. You see that jacket of the bullet connector shrink tight to the insulation of the wire. On the opposite end, we're going to cut the 2 factory spade terminals off. Twist those together. Normally I would solder these together, but these are such low wattage and current draw, I'm not too concerned about it. Bullet connector will do just fine for it. Go ahead and make that connection. I'm just going to run that flex boom up a little bit. For the leftover that we have. Again, we'll bunch everything up. Keep it all together nice. Up front now, we're gonna pull one of these blanks out. Where you want to put the switch. And there, we'll go ahead and pull that switch panel off. Just gonna pull from that top, pull it straight back, and that'll pop off, give you that access. Now back here you have a 12-volt switch supply right here, and you also have a ground right here. So it makes hooking everything up pretty easy up here. Now we're going to go ahead and wire a switch up. It's got a Nilight rocker switch. It's lit up. It says rear lights on it. Comes with instructions what wires got to wear. Top two are going to go to ground. Middle and bottom driver's side is going to go to your power source. And your bottom one is going to go out to your lights. So you're going to make sure you always fuse your incoming power. You don't ever want to not have a fuse on your power. This is absolutely overkill, the gauge that I'm using. It's just what I had in my toolbox. So there's your fused power supply. And that's going to connect to your switch power supply right here behind the switch panel. So it's going to be a 10mm socket that you're going to use on this. Okay, there's your power side. And remove the negative. There'll be a link in the description, all the tools that I use, all the consumables. So if you want to buy the same things, order them straight from Amazon. Keep Jeff Bezos going to the moon. Katy Perry and Lauren Sanchez. So I'm just kind of doing rando lengths to get it close. So this will get a female spade terminal. So with that, it's going to be hot after you heat shrink it. Negative goes to your negative on your switch. Power is going to the other side here. Put your fuse in. And now we're just going to do our quick lead. Goes from the switch to the tan wire with the red tracer. And that will complete the install. Sorry, I'm not sure what the audio is sounding like right now. The wind's picking up here. I'll back everything up with a tidal bar. So we'll connect the tan with the red tracer. Send that up through. And before we put all this button back up, I'm going to go ahead and turn it on and test it. Now if you notice, I'm not sure if you can see or not. Right now this upper part is off. When you turn the switch on, that lights up so you know that the light is on. So right now the light should be on. Let's go check it out. There are reverse lights now. These are manual, you have to turn them on and off. They won't work. They won't work with the gear selector. There is another company that makes a kit that when you actually put it in gear, it will automatically turn the lights on and turn the lights off. I'll put a link to that as well in the description. So let's go ahead and get this dash button back up. Call it a day. Switch off. Lights off. You do have to go ahead and pull all these back off to get the switch through. And slide that in through the blank hole. Excuse me. Just getting over bronchitis. snaps on, and that's it. Clean install. That's it for the install. So from here you just might want to go back, just go over your harness wiring and make sure it's zip tied up and not dangling down anywhere it's going to get caught in something, and clear from all obstructions or anything turning or rotating. So that's it for another install here. Please, if you like the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and we have some more installs to do coming up here. We're going to do some work on the tractor too, put some work lights on the back of the tractor for the backhoe for when it gets a little dark at night. So we'll see you next time. Thanks. So I just wanted to end the video and show you what the lights look like at nighttime when you're going to be using them. These lights are plenty bright and will let you see where you're backing up on a trail or in the woods, wherever you need to at night. If you like the video, please hit like, subscribe, leave any comments if you have any questions, and thanks for watching. Goodbye.